in the dating world, the person's not necessarily just seeing you as a person that they can help, or like, they just want to see a partner or potential partner.
Today, we are talking again with the absolutely sassy, smart, stroke survivor, sensationalist. It is Steph Ho! Ho, 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 ho. Steph, thank you so much for joining us on Topic Talk this week.
My pleasure. I'm happy to be here.
I'm thrilled just to be in your presence. I've just got a bit of ho glow.
Oh.
We both do. I wanted to talk with you about dating and disability. So tap into your ho glow, but I really want to know, how are you finding love and dating with a disability?
Wow, that is such a big topic.
It's juicy.
Not surprisingly, it's also a big part of everyone's, I guess, journeys in life, finding that connection with a person. But particularly, it's hard enough, right, to put yourself out there, hope for the best, but then adding the additional layer of dating with a disability, it's really daunting. I see it as it's as difficult as anyone else that is complaining about, dating and then online and this particular environment, but also our capacity to kind of like go out there is a little even more, I would say, like riskier in all different ways, because we are more vulnerable and it takes more to communicate, because like there's actually more stuff to share. And coupled with that, you need to figure out, well, in what space, in what sequence, in what timing is it appropriate to actually share that with someone, because honestly, our stories are pretty special and pretty important to ourselves, but also for the people who are deservedly, or if they're deserved to be in your circle, when you want to share that with that person. So it's I treat my particular I guess dating, which is really, it's for me really awkward to say, because I came out of a really long-term relationship, and then I never ever even dabbled or known too much about the dating apps, and it is a whole other like realm.
Oh God,
So yeah, it's been difficult, but exciting, challenging, but mostly exciting actually so far.
Wow. Can I just dip in a little bit on that? What is, like, when you have, say, explained something that, as you said, it's important, it's sort of like, it's part of your makeup, and it needs to be safe to sort of disclose that. What's the best thing that's ever happened based on you sharing some of that vulnerable information?
As mentioned, not knowing anything about the dating thing, I actually had a few real like insecurities, concerns, I suppose, when I stepped back into it. And the main one was just how people would receive hearing about my stroke, and what I still find challenging, with the disability, etc. So far, the best thing all around, and to me, it's really crazy that they haven't seemed to mind it at all. Like, they're to your point that it's almost like, what's your point kind of thing. So at some point, when I deem required, or just like safer to share that I do have a disability. There's certain things I struggle with, like balance, or I have real chronic fatigue, pain. I have weakness in my affective side, etc. Um, I don't know whether it's because they don't truly understand what that means or not. But when I give them more concrete examples, they've been like, "Oh, okay, well, it doesn't bother me." Like the fact that you live by yourself, for example, or you seem to be fairly independent. Like clearly, you know how to manage yourself, or you know what other things you can or can't do. So you're okay. So they've almost like been like, do you want to talk about it more? Because I don't really care. So that's been really surprising and nice.
I think this is going to probably make this conversation, this talk, probably go on a little bit, but that's okay. Because it's a really important one, I reckon, to talk about, because, you know, even I think, you know, I identify as gay, and so even like sometimes I think in different relationships, well, not on a gay dating app because everyone's gay, so it's like whatever. It's, you don't have to like. There's no disclosure, but I think when you have an experience where that has been, you know, you mentioned about like the thing in the closet before. I was like, yeah, that's the issue. Is that when we keep things in a closet, it actually doesn't give others the space to respond kindly, inquisitively, curiously. It's not to say that we shouldn't be protective over ourselves when we disclose stuff, but I also think that there are a lot of people out there that when you are okay with your own level of disclosure, sharing, and you invite discussion rather than feeling like you're sort of admitting some sort of defeat.
Absolutely. So
It
I think
frames it for someone, right?
yeah, that's something that so I had my stroke 10 plus years ago. Of course, I live it in parts every day, but I suppose like putting myself out there. I know I don't necessarily appear to be a person who may have a disability. It's only through like spending time with me and you know, being in a like better, there's a better word, but like tested.
Yeah, right.
I
Okay.
guess when you're put out there, for example, these dating apps, you the person doesn't see you as a person with a disability. They see you as the whole package, and whether
Yeah.
you like that or you have the same interest, etc. So I guess as a person who recovered slowly and surely, I think it has reshifted my own way that I identify with myself and my body and what I have to offer the world. Because in the dating world, the person's not necessarily just seeing you as a person that they can help, or like, you know, they just want to see a partner or potential partner.
Yeah.
So that's been a really nice reminder and shift in that way. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Steph. That's seriously, it's really generous of you to share that. And hopefully, you know, you watching we want you to be part of this discussion. We want to know how you are finding love and dating with a disability. What's your
Yeah.
experience?
So the one thing I did want to add is,
Yeah.
um, in all things in life, actually, it's interesting how, because I've had 10 years to kind of work and process through all these things, I'm very comfortable with it. I know myself and my limitations or capabilities,
Yeah.
etc. So by the time I
It's a nice little
chose to
reframe.
share this, I chose to share this with a person. It's the energy that you give them. So if I were embarrassed or anxious or unsure about, what I'm talking about, in this case, my disability and my history, then that person's gonna mirror that kind of energy of nervousness, etc.
Yeah,
So
100%.
by the time I start saying this, and they're like, I guess, subconsciously thinking, well, you're telling me this, but you don't seem to be too bothered yourself, so I don't understand why I would. And they're like, okay, well, you're cool, so I guess I'm cool, and then people can kind of move on. So I
Yeah.
guess unfortunately, in all things in life, you start with yourself and you work on yourself, and then you put yourself out there, and yeah, people will only mirror what you give them. And it turns out dating and online dating has not been any different, really.
Oh, that is so good. Thank you so much. I'm like, I don't even need to button that. That's perfect. Well, now Steph and I really want to know from you, how are you finding love and dating with a disability? Let us know in the
I love,
comments
yes. Tell us.
below.
Hello.